And he could have said, could you see it in your heart to give General Flynn the same treatment you gave Hillary Clinton? Now,
yes, right.
There you go. I mean,
that's exactly
what's the
right.
difference?
Yeah, I mean, since when, in my vocabulary, since when is hope a command or an order to do anything?
Yeah,
I hope.
Unless you're blinking furiously.
Yeah,
or
giving them the wink.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I mean? Giving them in the ribs and whatnot. Come on, Mr. Comey. Go ahead, because you know what? He would have perjured himself in previous testimony if he says that, right?
Well, and the other thing is that Comey at no time said anything to anybody else about, hey, this attempt was made to influence my decision, which he would have been required to do had it happened.
Yeah,
or had he taken it seriously.
That's
let's
right.
Put it
and
that
even
way.
McCabe, right, who is the holdover, he's now the interim FBI guy, he's an Obama guy, said there has been no instructions to not investigate.
Yeah.
Right? And that's coming from an Obama acolyte, Andrew McCabe, who now heads up the FBI. Right? So the smoke that the media keeps putting out there is just pure bunk.
Just smoke.
It is.
This is one case where there's a smoke generator and no fire.
It's a fog
The
machine.
media is the smoke generator.
Yes.
There is no
crazy.
fire.
Well, so the FBI on Thursday declined a congressional request for the explosive memos by former Director James Comey detailing his interactions with President Trump. House Oversight Committee and other congressional panels requested the memos earlier this month from the New York Times. Comey allegedly wrote in one, that Trump had asked him to shut down the FBI's investigation into Michael Flynn. Saying I hope is not instructing him to shut down any investigation. And Mr. Comey, you said there was no instruction from anybody. So don't try and come out and lie now, sir. You've already proven yourself to be an incompetent when it comes to running the FBI. In a letter to Oversight Chairman Jason Chaffetz, the FBI's Assistant Director for Congressional Affairs, Gregory Brower, said the Bureau can't provide the memo until it consults with Robert Mueller, the new special counsel. All right. Really? Come on. You want to talk about, if there's something going on there, I want to see it. Bring it out for the rest of us to see, for crying out loud. We've been dealing with this for 18 months.
Once again, I like what Ellen Dershowitz, consummate Democrat and law professor, says. There's no crime here.
Yeah.
What are we investigating? What do you hope to find when there's no instance or inkling of a crime that's been committed?
Yeah. It's insanity. Let's take a call from Joe in Wyandotte, who actually wants to talk about border tax. Joe, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. But first, what is it with women named Debbie and the Democrat Party? You got Debbie, please wash your face, Schultz. And then, of course, Debbie Dingbat, which everybody, of course, needs to support JeffJonesForCongress.com. He's up and running in the midterms 2018 already to make sure we replace Debbie Dingbat. And then, of course, there's Debbie Stab You Now, which everybody thanks
Joe, that's
me on a
Walter's
daily
job to
basis.
do
I
that.
get more and more people join my Facebook group. Thanks a lot, Debbie, to make sure we replace her. But, what is it with Debbies and Democrats?
Yeah, you hit all 3 points very well, Joe. I'll agree with him on all of them. We need to replace Debbie Dingle. We need to replace Debbie Stabenow. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz just needs to go away. If I were the leader, if I were Tom Perez, the DNC chair, I'd be like, Debbie, shut up and go away, because you're just making it even worse.
That's the good side of things, though. It's almost good that she and Nancy Pelosi are still high-level spokespeople for Democrats, because they're just such an and Maxine Waters.
Well, there you go.
God, the never-ending gift that Maxine Waters is for the stupidity that the Democrats stand for is just amazing. But yeah, TheDailyDrift.com, which of course, the news you need to know, everybody needs to go there. You had on there about the border tax, and I want to extend it to just tax reform in general. They need to get to that, and I will not support a tax reform package if it has a border tax. I do not support an import tax that American consumers would have to pay, and smoot-hawleyism that would turn the Blunder recovery, and I spell recovery W-R-E-C-K, overy, it's a wreck of a recovery, into a full-blown recession. We have to learn from history. It wouldn't make the Depression, but it would deepen the current recession. And there's no excuse that they shouldn't, in the first 100 days, just ignored the whole overall tax reform and passed what we all agree on, a repatriation, one-time, 0% repatriation of corporate funds from abroad to bring that money back into our economy and kick up the GDP growth.
Absolutely. I think there's other ways to tackle that issue than the punitive border tax. And certainly there are ways that we can pay for the tax reform as well. And I think a big part of that will be just an improved economy. I mean, it's already improving greatly, right?
Well, like you said, the repatriation of corporate funds abroad, that would do a lot right there to bring industry back into the United States, where we wouldn't worry about the importation and a tax on imports, hopefully.
Yeah, that 15% would be huge for a corporate tax. What else you got, Joe?
Well, again, they should have done that in the first 100 days. That could have been a simple one-page bill, and it would have really been a kick to the economy already. Wow. I don't know why they're waiting on that and why they insist on holding that hostage to other things. We can do separate things in smaller bills. All this omnibus process has got to stop.
Yeah. There's a lot of things they should have done already that concern me, but hey.
Yeah. All right, well, Joe, appreciate the call, man.
All right,
see you, Joe.
Take care, my friend.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let's take a quick call from Gary in Hazel Park. Gary, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Gary.
This memo that everybody's talking about, now, unless it's time-stamped or is notarized, it's just hearsay. Any guy can write a note to himself.
A friend of mine showed something on Facebook. It was like a legal binder that had a handwritten note on there, and it says a memo from me, Comey. And it was hilarious. You know, like, yeah, how do you know what it really says? And, you know.
Right. It should not be admissible in any kind of court or proceedings at all.
Yeah, again, it's just hearsay.
Just because somebody misremembers something doesn't make it what really happened. People misremember conversations all the time and swear later they said something else. And if you wrote it down shortly after, it doesn't mean you heard it the way it was said or that you're remembering it the way it was said.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, I'm pretty sure you gentlemen understand that eyewitnesses don't mean anything. You get 10 people witnessing the same event, and you have 10 different accounts.
Yeah, exactly right. What else you got, Gary?
You guys have a nice time.
All right. Thank you, sir, for
Thanks
the call.
for calling in.
Always love having your calls. Thank you. All right. Well, Derek, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Bill de Blasio and the FBI. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Everybody needs some time to just turn on the radio and rock. You'll love Theron's Saturday Night Rock and Rhythm Review. It all gets underway at 4 p.m. with the Saturday edition of the Bone Conduction Music Show. From 6 to 8, get hip to Fast Eddie, spinning the classics on Eddie's Caravan. At 8 o'clock, we explore America's roots music with Radio John D. and the Greasy Skillet. From 10 to midnight, it's Dan Martin, bringing you the finest music from the United Kingdom on London Calling. At midnight, DJ Del Villarreal wraps things up with his Rockabilly Fest, Go Cat Go. Theron's Saturday Night Rock and Rhythm Review. It all starts at 4 p.m. Saturday, only on the musical side of Wham!
I'm Derek Stone with 60 Seconds on Sports. Former Indianapolis Colts and Denver Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning will be hosting the ESPY Awards on July 12th. Manning is a far cry from previous MCs like Samuel L. Jackson, Dennis Miller, and Jamie Foxx, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. ESPN has lost their footing in the sports television world due to their recent firing of 100 employees so it makes perfect sense for them to bring in one of the most iconic quarterbacks in National Football League history to start bringing the viewers back to their network. Peyton Manning isn't going to wow anyone with his sense of humor, which has been a prerequisite of previous ESPY Awards hosts, but he will present the awards program with integrity, dignity, and grace. I'm Derek Stone, and this is my 60 Seconds on Sports.
Diggett Contracting Incorporated says in some emergencies, blood must be shipped from outside the area. This takes time, and sometimes a patient does not have time. Be a lifesaver and donate blood today. It's safe, simple, and it saves lives. This special announcement from Diggett Contracting Incorporated, where their quality service and expertise have earned them a fine reputation. For information, call 734-426-1612. That's 734-426-1612.
Bourbon on the Rocks.
Okay, so I'm not really sure how to break this to some of you here, but I have to do it. If you actually believe that Bill Nye is actually a science guy, then you probably also believe that Captain Kangaroo was a real captain and the professor on Gilligan's Island was actually a professor. I mean, come on, people, are you serious?
Don't miss Bourbon on the Rocks with Thomas LeDuc. Saturday mornings at 6 on Wham. You're catching the drift. Gary Wellings and the Drift. On Wham Talk 1600. Call 734-822-1600 to join in the discussion.
And welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to Catch Our Drift. And Derek, we have an audio from one of our longtime listeners, Jenny. Now, I think it was last week or the week before. We asked,
"Where's Jenny?
Where's Jenny?" We hadn't heard from her, and she said, I'm tired of the bad news and everything, so I didn't really. But she goes, she wanted to correct. She goes, I'm still here. I'm okay. So she sent us an audio email, which was really cool. Jenny's been around forever with us. Derek, go ahead and play that.
Hey, Gary, how you doing? It's me, Jenny. I just wanted to prove to you that I'm doing okay. I hope you can play this. I'm going to send you, this is an audio email. Anyway, I still listen to you just about every week. I don't listen to you when you have that fool Wahlberg on. That guy, he says nothing, he does nothing. So I don't listen to him. And Steve Gruber has him on every week. Man, I get so sick of it, I just turn it off then. It's like, give me a break. The guy does nothing and says nothing when he's talking to people. Just a bunch of double talk nothing. But, that's Tim Wahlberg. What are you going to do? That's most of these idiots now. But anyway, yeah, I do listen to you. And, of course, I still love the show. But I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know what to say anymore, and I'm saying it right now. So, but you're going to still have him on, that stupid Wahlberg, and so is Steve, so I'll just quit listening to that. But, and that's my choice. It's called free markets. And, anyway, but otherwise, you guys have good shows, and I listen to the Defending Fathers every day, and I have to get them on. They're not, I don't know, my tuner's not working for WYPV right now, but TuneIn still works. So I listen to them every day until 11, and then Wham has them on at 11. I really like them. They're great. You should check them out if you have time sometime. Listen to, I don't know if they have podcasts or not. But anyway, I'm doing good. I'm just mad at all these idiots. I love Trump, he's a good man, and they just do everything they can to knock him down, and it's stupid.
Okay, so
signed Jenny.
So you can't say I'm in Tim's pocket, right? I just played that on it, and Tim listens to the show, and I'm sure he's going, Gary, what are you saying?
That's the last inauguration you get invited to.
So. And you know what, Jenny, I have the same concern sometimes because you know what, I want my congressman to be the dude on Fox News, leading the charge, being abrasive, and getting out there and fixing. That's not Tim. But you know what, Tim has done a far better job than any Democrat, that shower we had for 2 years. And so Tim, you work with what you got, and Tim has done some things. He just hasn't always been on the forefront of what we want. And Tim is one of those guys. He's trying to get along to move things along in a slow fashion, which most of us don't want anymore because we're tired of that slow fashion.
Well, I'd suggest, maybe next time we have Tim on,